First and foremost, all praises, glory, honor goes to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakodas. Double honors to the elder apostles at Great Millstone that taught us this truth. Salutation on Yakin pushing this word day in and day out. I remember this guy, he was around my age, a little bit younger, maybe about 3-4 years younger. This guy name was Trevor Ariza. He done played with Kobe with the Lakers. I believe he played with the Rockets, the Wizards, a few more teams. He's like a journeyman, known as a big tough defender. He's about 6'9", 6'10". You know, long, could shoot. You know, role player type of guy. But, you know, he made decent money in the NBA, $116 million in his career. So let's say after taxes, he pulled in $60 million. And then after agent fees, maybe about, 40, 50 million, right? It says now he's broken back in the court for help, all right? Claims he's unemployed and $230K in the negative, facing 4.7, which I'm not sure if he filed bankruptcy. 4.7 million debt on properties, which isn't bad. That's maybe about 2 houses. Pays $14K a month in child support to ex-wife. Says he now has full custody of their son. It pays $10K for other kids and $4K in spousal support monthly. Pretty sure that's monthly. Reza says the payments are based on NBA money he no longer makes and wants the court to lower them. Yeah, because more than likely his income is probably like the pension money. If he played in the NBA long enough, I believe if you play in the NBA, I think around 5 or 10 years, you get a pension. The pension ain't much, it's probably a couple $100,000 a year. That's not much compared to the money he was making when he was in the NBA, man, already. So he married this nigga woman, this little, red bone nigga woman with no eyebrows. Which that was his first mistake, getting married. Here it is, you're in the NBA. You have access to all kinds of women. Of course, you're going to want, some certain jakes need that or want that companionship. But, it's not wise in every instance because, here in Babylon, here in America, you get married to the state. So now he has to get the state involved, all right? So even, Jason the comic book saying that's why Kevin Durant not getting married, smart man. All right. Somebody said prenup. So that's the comments, man. 14,000 a month child support. So when you calculate that, that's like at least 170,000 a year, somewhere around there, man. And for her to do nothing, she wasn't there shooting in the gym, like Drake said. She wasn't there, giving her water bottles and shit, massaging them after games, road stretches. Because the thing is, here it is. It's another reason why guys in that life shouldn't get married. Because when she's used to you being out on the road, 6 months out the year, she's used to you being on the road. And then when you retire, look, you home every day. And that's when arguments start. She's getting tired of you. She doesn't have the freedom she once had. Like, he's out on a road trip. Let's say he's playing on the Lakers at that, time and instance, and he's on the East Coast road trip. You can't, be there to monitor her. She's out doing whatever and whenever, man. If she wants to go to the club, she'll go to the club. She wants to go to the bar, she'll go to the bar. She wants girls' night out, she'll have it. But now that there's a man consistently at home, that just fucks up the dynamic of the wickedness she wants to do, man. All right, so let me get some precept. This is Ecclesiastes 7:26. So I could get Ecclesiasticus 25, I believe, where it says all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of one. I could get that. There's a lot of scriptures I could get, but I ain't gonna make this video too long. Been in the spirit of doing a little shorter, straight to the point lesson. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands is bands. All right, so her heart is trapping niggas up, especially rich niggas like Trevor Ariza, you know. And he wasn't even a superstar in the NBA. If he was a superstar, he probably would have made like 500 million or more. Since he was a role player, I believe when he was in the league, he got the tail end of that when they was paying role players big money. You know, he was in the tail end of his career. He's able to see some big money. His heart is snares and nets. In her hand is bands. Who so pleased if Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai shall escape from her. So if you please the Most High and His Son, you will escape from these wicked men. Escaping how? Escaping from, you know, her and Esau, man. Because when you get married, you're not only getting married to her, you're getting married to her and Esau, the so-called. You know, you adding a third party that's not Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai to your marriage. Because as soon as you stick your rod in a woman, guess what? You're married. You know. Especially she's an Israelite. But now, you know, in this society, really, they all concubines. Because when you get them, you ain't the first to pop them, man. They done experience other men. They done experience big rods, little rods, medium rods, you know. They don't experience other men, man. So you're getting a concubine here, all right? But the sinner shall be taken by her. Hey, Trevor Ariza, guess what? He's a sinner, man, you know. There's one thing about them NBA niggas, they do. Because, of course, he done had side bitches, all right? That's just a fact, right? You know. And the one thing about them NBA niggas, you know, they commit a lot of adultery. They ain't asking, you know, the cheerleader or the media relations lady if she's married, she got a husband, boyfriend. They not asking those questions. They're like, oh, yeah, okay, meet me at hotel such and such. You know. Which, this guy, you could follow in the footsteps of his peers and do that whole podcast thing. But I don't think he's a big personality guy to keep his audience engaged. I don't, you know, you don't remember Ariza being you know, who Ariza is off the court. Like most people, even that follow the NBA, like I did that when he was playing. I used to follow the NBA in his era because that was my era. All right, because I was when the guys in the league was around my age. Because I'm an 80s baby, right? And I can't remember Trevor Ariza's voice, you know, to be off the court. You know, you just remember him on the court hooping. Okay. So I don't know how she got pretty eyes, but I don't know how he trusted this woman, man. She looked like she in it for the cashola, the payola, man. All right. So let me get the next preset, man. Sad guy 1 and 6, he have sown much and bring in little. So even in the NBA, since they put in a lot of work for that money, they deserve every penny and more. Because, you know, here it is, they're hooping in little boys and girls club. Let's just say that they start off there, then move to AAU, then move to high school, and high school and AAU, ABCD camps, and all these Nike camp, LeBron camp, Jordan camp, Under Armour, you know, all these different camps to hoop in, right? They go to college or they go overseas to Europe, you know. They hoop there for about a year or two, then go to the league. So, you know, back in the day, especially Ariza era, they weren't getting paid until they made it to the league. At least now, these little niggas could get paid while they in middle school, high school. But back then, in my era, in Trevor Ariza era, nah, that shit was illegal. So they so much, right? But social media kind of bridged the gap, man. allowing these niggas to make money now. But these young niggas, they don't reverence, you know. These Gen Z niggas, they don't reverence, you know, the guys that was before them. Even if you seen the Gen Z guys was like, yeah, you know, I think the guys that was before me that allowed me to make the money and live the life I want to live today. They don't do that shit. Niggas proud as hell. You have so much and bring in little. You eat, but you have not enough. You drink, but you are not filled with drink. You clothe you, but there's none warm. So even with all the money and accolades that Reza had, I think he may have a championship ring, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta do my homework on that. And it says, but there's none warm. So, hey, man, he got all this NBA vet status. And first, second team, all defense, all these awards, team player. You know, and still, you know, not satisfied, still not happy. You know, mansions and shit, cars, still not happy. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag of holes. So, hey man, that's a bag of holes saying you made 116 and you 200K in a negative. I mean, he could sell a couple of them houses if he has equity, but it's harder. Believe it or not, it's harder to get equity on a mansion than a regular house, because it's not too. It's only but so many people that could afford that shit, man. All right. You know, you look at this woman, you could tell she's just in it for the guala. She's in it like Benny. You should have got him a Northern Tribe or Becky. Because here it is, I mean, to me, that don't make no sense, man. I mean, of course it do, because he's not playing no more, but I'm pretty sure she divorced him while he was getting ready, close to retirement or getting ready or after retirement, man. That's how it always works. So you should have got him an Edomite or Israelite foreign woman or Northern Tribe, man, you know. So bag with hoes, that's the curses, man, you know. This is Ecclesiastes 13. The rich man have done wrong. It's talking about Esau, man. Yet he threateneth with all the poor is wrong, then he must entreat also. Therefore, it's like a lot of these NBA niggas. If thou be for his profit, he'll use thee. Yeah, he is for the NBA's profit, man. These different owners and GMs and so forth, man. David Stern. I'm pretty sure David Stern was in the league when he got in. Adam Silver. These guys were like the presidents of basketball operations, man. So if you for his profit, he's gonna use you. He's gonna put a jersey on you. He's gonna sell your memorabilia, your jersey, your shoes, autograph shits. You know, he's gonna make money off of it. He's gonna fill up packed arenas. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee. So he's being forsook now, man. He has nothing. If thou have anything, he will live with thee. He'll come to your parties, Michael Rubin, and yacht parties, and turning up, you know, prostitutes, and, you know, all that shit. You'll live it up with you. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee. If thou have anything, he will live with thee. Yea, he will make thee bear and not be sorry for it. Yeah, so he be laughing at these niggas when they go broke. NBA, NFL, same story in the NFL. If he have need of thee, he will deceive thee and smile upon thee and put thee in hope. He will speak thee fair and say, what one is that? Yeah, you say, what the hell you want? What you want? I got you. And he will shame thee by his meats, by his dainties, by his pleasure, until he have drawn thee dry twice or thrice, and at last he will laugh thee to scorn afterwards. When he seeth thee, he'll forsake thee and shake his head at thee. And that's what these different owners and GMs they doing now. They just laughing, shaking their head, man. It's like another one bites the dust. Cause they say like 80% of NFL, NBA niggas after retirement they go broke. I think it's a little better now because now they could do their little podcast things and hope to get a sponsor. And the sponsor pay their bills. Maybe a sponsor might pay them a couple million a year. But not everybody that do that podcast shit gonna be Shannon Sharp, Chad Ochocinco, or, I'm trying to think the NBA version of Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson and shit. Steven Jackson probably making more money doing this social media shit than the NBA. Even though he made decent money, but he was in the no money league. Matt Barnes was in the no money league. They ain't really start paying niggas in the NBA, as a whole. Of course, you always had players that was getting paid, but it was very few. But like how it is today, they wasn't doing that shit like how it is today, probably till like about 10 years ago, man. That niggas getting 100 million in 2 years. That shit ain't really start till about 10 years ago. So, hey man, that's the curses, man, Don't marry these hoes, man. Especially you got substance. So till next, he should have knew better, man. I'm sure someone warned him. Some veteran, because Ariza was in the league when it was still vets in the league. It's probably some veteran or some trainer, somebody in that NBA lifestyle. Because the Lord don't judge you till he give you warning. So I'm sure somebody in that NBA circle that said, hey, don't get married. But, niggas got that big payday. They're like, who the fuck is he, man? I'm making 17 million this year. Who the hell is he? And now he's wishing he would have took heed. So till next time, shalom.